The principle, love your people, seems pretty simple. It's not something that we really talk about in business so much. Love is not a word that is generally used a lot in business. It's something that I was very intentional in using the word love when introducing the principle, love your people, which is part of the Tetrahedron framework that I've developed. The first principle is think like a guest. The second is love your people. And the third is own your numbers. And all of these are built on a foundation of organizational purpose. So the second principle, love your people, is really important for leaders because I believe that we leave stuff on the table that we shouldn't. I think we need to be more open, more connected, and more emotional sometimes with our teams. Doesn't mean that we as leaders need to be their friend. The idea of love goes beyond just the idea of providing a safe place to work. And for me, it gives me purpose when I understand that ultimately my job, my mission, my purpose is to help people thrive. Now, that's mine, doesn't need to be yours, but when I put it in that perspective, it's a good way to hold myself accountable. And I use it as a way to say, am I really loving my people when I create a policy like this? As anyone who's been a parent knows, that love is not always pretty. You might need to hold someone accountable. You might need to use discipline. You might need to really push someone to do something that's uncomfortable for them. And those are different forms of love. The word policy is one that I try not to use, but of course, as a business leader, we all need to have policies, and we need to have KPIs, and we all need to have ways to measure performance. But if those are rooted in love, I believe that that helps generate fulfillment on the individual level and performance on the enterprise level. It seems simple, but it's really hard to execute sometimes, because what this requires is an approach where you believe one size fits one. And that can be especially challenging when your organization grows. So how do you show your love for your people when you have an organization of 200 or 500 or 5,000 employees? What I believe is that if you're the leader of those 5,000 employees, you need to show your love for all of the people below you, including the division leaders, because those are the people who are maybe only leading 500 people. And then the department leaders, those are the people who might be only leading 100 or 50 people. And then the shift leaders, they might be only leading 25 or 30 people. How do you show your love for these people? Well, the first thing that I believe is that we need to show the way, set the destination, and articulate what's negotiable and what's not. What is challenging when you're a middle manager, and many of us have been middle managers or are middle managers right now, is not knowing what's important, where to stand, where you can push, where you cannot, where you need to toe the line. And so I believe that by being really clear, that is one of the best ways you as a senior leader can connect with your people, because it reduces anxiety. So that's one thing. Be clear. Another thing is empower. If you're clear with where you want to go, and then you empower these folks, these division leaders, department leaders, shift leaders, to make decisions in that level. So the shift leader can make shift decisions. The department leader can make department decisions. That shows a level of trust, which of course comes from love. And those people are going to get better at their jobs because you're not doing all the thinking for them. It's like you don't want a helicopter parent, right? No, everyone knows that a helicopter parent doesn't really work because they take away all of the trial and error for that kid. And ultimately, that kid becomes 21 and doesn't know how to make a decision. And so we really want to empower people to make their own decisions that impact their area. And they're going to screw up. And so how do you show them love? You show that you've got their back. and you say, hey, you screwed up there, but I'm glad you tried. Please don't do that do that again. And here's how I think you could do it next time. And as long as it's not an ethical or moral shortcoming, you can say, no, get back in there and try it again. And so those are some ways to show love for your people on a very basic level. And once you start doing that, you will start to trust the process even more. I will say that it can be challenging in the beginning, especially if you are prone to micromanaging, because you want everything to be perfect. Ultimately, you might realize that the people around you are just as smart as you. And maybe some of those department leaders are smarter than you for what they're responsible for. And so, wouldn't that be amazing if you can go home at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock because you've surrounded yourself with competent, fun, incredible leaders who know what they're doing and who believe in what you're doing and are proud to make decisions on your behalf. And they want to show you what an incredible job they're doing. And the best part is you feel proud of them and you can go home and spend time with your family and your friends. Have an amazing week.